Between 2010 and 2035, the number of people aged over 75 in Scotland is set to increase by 82%. This massive rise in older people has an effect on the way services are provided to support them. As we get older, a dependence on care increases, and the provision of this care can itself help create further and more intense dependencies. In October 2011, over 6,800 people in Glasgow were receiving a home care service, and this saw nearly 267,000 hours of care being delivered every 4 weeks, or 3.5 million hours each year. The annual cost of this service was £60 million. This cost was becoming unsustainable, especially in a public sector environment that was continually demanding more for less. We needed to find a solution. Kicking the problem into the long grass simply wasn't an option. There was also the pressure to push the balance of care into a community setting, keeping older people at home and helping them maintain their independence. In Glasgow, the challenges were faced head-on. A group of professionals from multiple agencies came together and met around the table. There were many doubts and fears about how change could be implemented and how much these changes would cost. Indeed, the extent of the challenge was so massive that some people couldn't continue supporting the group and simply walked out. We looked at what other local authorities had done, both north and south of the border, and whilst we saw many models of care that had worked, we were always conscious of Glasgow's size and its unique problems. For example, Glasgow's northeast area is larger than some entire councils. Recognising the need for joined-up working, Cordia, our local NHS and Glasgow City Council Social Work Services Department teamed up to create our new Reablement service. Underpinning all our thinking was the understanding that our home care service plays a role not only in the care of older people, but also in the care of those suffering from addiction, families struggling to cope, those who are homeless, and people living with cancer. The responsibility was huge. Funding for the first year of the new service came from the Scottish Government's Change Fund, and this money provided us with solid foundations on which to build our service. So how did we go about creating Glasgow's Reablement service? Well, that was easy. We wiped away all our thinking and started with a blank page. On that blank page, we wrote a very clear question. What do service users want? And the answer was simple. Our service users wanted a service that was focused on their needs and one which maximised their independence, living in their own homes. So how does Reablement work? Service users are assessed by either an occupational therapist, a Cordia assistant manager, or an NHS rehab clinician to find out what care they need and what goals they want to work towards. Goals can include making dinner, washing and dressing, or even simply making a cup of tea. Service users then receive care visits and regular meetings with the Reablement teams to ensure they are progressing toward their goals. New goals are created in order for them to live more independently and to remove a dependency on care services. Each Reablement programme lasts for a maximum period of 6 weeks. Our Reablement service has been a great success. In 2013-14, over 2,000 service users completed Reablement, achieving some or all of their goals. 42% of these people did not require further home care support at the end of the 6-week Reablement period. Had those service users continued to require home care, the cost per annum would be £4.5 million. In 2014-15, over 2,700 service users completed Reablement. Of this number, 36% did not require further home care support. The yearly cost of their home care package would have been £5.8 million. For those service users who complete Reablement but still require ongoing home care, we have a better understanding of their needs, clearer goals for their care plans, and typically they need 16% fewer care hours to support them than might previously have been the case. Our current Reablement service typically sees 600 service users every 4 weeks, of which 62% come direct from hospital. We assess their care needs within 4 days of being referred. We have dedicated home care teams working 7 days on and 7 days off across 27 areas in the city, ensuring continuity of care. Looking to the future, we will team up with Glasgow Life to offer exercise and social activities for service users as part of their Good Move programme. So, how successful has Reablement been? Well, in comparing 2014 to the same period in 2011, before Reablement was introduced, there has been a reduction of 40,000 care hours every 4 weeks. This saving is representative of £8.3 million over the course of a year. The number of service users has dropped by almost 1,000 when you do the same comparison. These savings allow precious resources to be directed to those who really need them, while giving those who complete Reablement the confidence and ability to live independently in their own homes. Let's leave the last word to one of our service users who successfully completed the Reablement programme.
I can't give enough praise to the staff. When I came out of hospital, everything just went like clockwork. The occupational therapist had everything in place, and the Reablement carers, they came out to help me, and from then on, I just get better and better.
Glasgow's Reablement service has been a real success and has led to more of Glasgow's vulnerable people being cared for, safely and independently in their own homes.